Sometimes, no matter how good a takeover bid looks on paper, it really makes a difference how that company being taken over feels about their long-term perspective on the marketplace. Now, when we talk about companies being taken over, there's not a lot of really hostile takeovers where companies put out ultimatums and go out and already seek shareholder approval long before they table an offer. Up here in Canada, we actually have a company like that right now that's going ahead in a marketplace that just seems to be growing and getting a lot of news coverage, and they are not shy about being hostile in taking what they want. I'm Cody from Wall Street Breakdown. Aurora is trying to purchase CanniMed. So we're talking about medical marijuana again. That's up here in Canada. Now, the conglomeration of Aurora and CanniMed would make them the second biggest company in the medical marijuana field in all of Canada, right behind Canopy. Now, it would still put them well behind Canopy, but would put them firmly in the number 2 spot with about 40,000 patients on record. That's a lot of patients when you consider Canopy has about 63,000. Both companies would be well over the $3 billion valuation. So Aurora made a formal bid a week ago. CanniMed said they A, didn't receive the formal bid, and B, don't necessarily believe the price that was being offered. It was being offered at about 3 shares of Aurora for every share of CanniMed. CanniMed's stock would be somewhere around $24 a share, somewhere in that neighborhood at this point. Aurora closed today up about 7% on this news, $7 and some change, because people think that something is going to happen. See, Aurora is in the process of a lot of mergers and acquisitions. They've purchased a greenhouse design firm. They went out and purchased another medical marijuana application company. So they're really out there trying to bring a lot of stuff together because they believe they're going to make a push for being what would be second in the marketplace to Canopy, and potentially with some more mergers and acquisitions could push Canopy for that number 1 spot. While we don't foresee them actually taking over Canopy, we do see them, with the way that they're being aggressive out there, finding a way into that 2nd spot if the dominoes fall in the right spots for them. So they've made this offer already. Now they've made it again. So they've made a formal offer this time. They put it out in the newspaper. They've said 38% of shareholders already have been talked to from CanniMed, and they're going to be on board. Now CanniMed has warned their shareholders, please hold off on making any kind of rush decisions. CanniMed is in the process of buying another company that they said that everything's already on the up and up. They're ready to do this. That's a company that's backed by the Tragically Hip, a band up here in Canada called New Strike, another medical marijuana company. So what Aurora has said is that their offer, while very, very good, a 57% premium on the price for CanniMed as of right now. It's a really, really good deal for the CanniMed shareholders because Aurora, like we said, they've got some money to spend and they are being very aggressive trying to get a whole lot of companies under the Aurora umbrella so that they can take on Canopy in the best way that they know how. But what the problem is they don't want New Strike. They said that the deal completely hinges on that, regardless of the fact that this is a hostile takeover at this point. They've given shareholders and CanniMed the ability to wait and not answer this bid until spring of 2018. So CanniMed has a while to sit on it and think about the way things are going. In the interim, though, I would imagine that the medical marijuana community is taking a double take at this and wondering when some other money from outside sources is going to come in, or when some other companies are going to start deciding that they need to merge to really start making a push for that number 2 or number 3 spot as well. Canopy is so far out in front that I don't see a lot of companies without really strong outside investments getting near that number. But when you start considering companies getting together that both already have a decent amount of patient numbers under their umbrella, then we could see somebody actually making a push for it. This Aurora CanniMed deal makes sense to me. It doesn't seem to make sense to CanniMed. Aurora says it hinges totally on the deal with New Strike, even though it ends up being a very, very strong premium that they're willing to pay. We'll have to see how this all plays out. I imagine through the Christmas season, we're going to hear more of this. Of course, unless CanniMed closes this New Strike deal early and Aurora decides to pull out and decides to move their money into another direction. This is making the medical marijuana industry quite interesting up here, at least from a media standpoint, because we're all getting a chance to watch these companies scramble around and scurry as they're trying to fight for dominant position in a marketplace that's just being established. It's always fun to watch this kind of stuff. So what's going to happen? Will Aurora and CanniMed get together? Will CanniMed decide to get New Strike and push the Aurora deal away? What do the shareholders of CanniMed think? Apparently 38% of them at least are already on the side of Aurora. What's going to end up happening? Only time will tell. I'm Cody from Wall Street Breakdown. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button, click the notification bell, thumbs up for this video, thumbs up for all videos, thumbs up for you guys. We love you guys. And comments. We want to know what you guys think. Up here in Canada, this medical marijuana stuff gets quite a bit of play in the media. Let's just face facts. So I'm under the impression that a lot of people, especially Canadian investors, have a pretty strong opinion on this. And with this being potentially a merged company that could be number 2 in the marketplace, this could really set off the medical marijuana fight for the top spot. Because even at the end of this, even after Aurora could potentially get with CanniMed, even after they've purchased this greenhouse design firm earlier this week and the actual application company that they purchased this week, they still have a lot of money on the table that they could go out and make another acquisition. It's only getting more and more interesting. In the comments section is where we want you guys, the investors, to let us know what you think. And on top of that, it's Friday. We want you to have a safe, fun, and excellent weekend.